up, fellas? If you are in the West, in the Western civilization, in the Western countries, and you are dating a girl who has more than 2 body counts, has any kind of social media presence, even if it's on Pinterest or LinkedIn, any kind of social media presence, have any male friends or any other male's phone numbers in her phone besides her brothers, her father, her uncles, her family, and yourself. And if you are willing to not give up your manhood, if you will never give up your manhood, if that's the type of mentality you have, that stoic mentality, the quote-unquote toxic masculinity that they call us, your relationship will not last. You see, there's some very important points I just presented in front of you guys. Those 3 or 4 points I just mentioned, they're very, very important when it comes to dating or relationship or pair bonding or marriage or any of that, right? Fellas, marriage is dead. That's the bottom line. Let's be real. Let's talk statistics here, okay? From man to man, from me to you guys. 67% or 70% or 75%, whatever statistics you believe in, which is above 50%, I'll promise you that, of marriages end up in divorce. That does not guarantee that the rest of the marriages are actually happy marriages. That does not mean that these marriages actually have a man and a woman who cannot resist each other. That does not mean that when the husband comes home from work every single day after the 5-year mark, that the wife jumps on his lap and hugs him and kisses him and drops down on her knees and starts sucking him off. And the husband reciprocates the same type of energy towards the wife. That type of happiness is non-existent. Even my mother, who's probably the most virtuous and the wisest woman I've ever met in my life, told me the exact same thing. She told me that lust, that love is not going to last after the first 4 years. My mother straight up told me this. And she's a old generation from the eastern side of the world woman. And even she told me this. People just ride it out because of family, because of kids, because it's a business deal that, hey, I give you this and you give me that in return. That's why people ride it out. So that doesn't mean this is a quote-unquote successful marriage. To be a successful marriage, to have a successful relationship, there's a few components you need to have. First of all, sex, and good sex, and both of you need to be satisfied. Second of all, you both need to have your roles defined, and you both need to work on those roles. And you need to accept those roles. The roles that a man is supposed to have and the roles that a woman is supposed to have. I'm not going to get into that. That's not the title of the video. And that's where we drop the ball, fellas. We let these women act like men. They want to be strong and independent and as equal as us. And that's where we drop the ball. And that's why I said, if any of those components are present in your relationship, the components I mentioned earlier in the video when I first started it, your relationship is not going to last. 95% of relationships don't last, fellas, in the West today. What makes you think that your relationship is special? That butterfly feeling that you're having, we men are logical, right? Just think with your logic, with the right head for once, even if you're on the cupcake face. And just think that, hey, everybody around me, all these relationships around me have a cupcake face. They all go through this phase of where they feel that they're the special ones, that they will ride it out till the day they die with this unconditional love and never cheating on each other and never being dishonest to each other and just being there for each other. You know, all this fairy tale fantasy bullshit that you hear. So every couple is thinking that. Every couple is feeling that way, feeling some sort of way about each other, right? But then, how many of these couples do I hear about that actually made it till the end? So what makes me think that my relationship is any different? What makes me and my girl so special? Is it the love that I have for her? Maybe. So how come this love was never expressed or felt by anybody else before? You know, Romeo and Juliet died for each other. Are you willing to die for your girlfriend? If no, then your love is not even as special as Romeo and Juliet's love. But if you are willing to die for each other, then it's just like Romeo and Juliet's love. It's not anything better or anything more special. Whatever you have has existed in this earth before. You don't have anything unique or special. That's what I'm trying to say. So just think about that for a second. And then the answers will be very evident right in front of your own eyes. You'll tell yourself, man, who am I kidding? Who am I fooling? Really though, who are you fooling? What makes you think you're special? What makes you think you're gonna last? You're not. I will bet my life that your relationship is not going to last if any of those components are present. Now, yeah, sure. You can give up your manhood and let her wear the pants in the relationship. And sure, your relationship will last years after years after years. She'll probably even cheat on you. She'll probably even go suck some other dude's dick and come home and kiss you in the mouth goodnight. Sure, yeah, that can happen. You'll allow her girls' night out, and she'll find me at that bar, and I'll bang her out on the bathroom stool. Bend her over there and her girlfriends. They'll line up for me. Matter of fact, I'll take 3 of them in one stall. And all 3 of them would have my cream pie inside of them. And then I'll send them home. And then you'll eat her out, tasting my cum in your mouth. Sure, yeah, your relationship will last, sure. Go for it if that's what you want. You guys are forgetting who you're dealing with, what type of women you're dealing with here in the West, fellas. You have no idea how disposable you are to her, especially if you're in your early 20s and you don't have a whole lot of things going on for yourself. You're not there yet where you want to be in your life, success-wise. You're just another number in her phone, fellas. If she were to go through her phone, her social media, and her text messages and her phone contacts and block every single guy, it would have taken her at least a whole week if she were to go and block all the orbiters from her orbit. But she'll never do that. Why? Because current attention is currency for her. It's a life source. It's like oxygen for her. She cannot live without attention. So she'll never get rid of all this attention. Free attention. She's not having to give up her own body to any of these guys, and she's still getting them because of these thirsty ass dudes. And it fucks with her head, fellas. And she constantly keeps asking herself, hey, is this the best I can do? Anytime you guys have fights, she constantly questions herself. Why am I with him? Instead of, hey, let's make this work with him. Because there's so many options out there, it fucks with her head. She cannot think straight. This is why your relationship is not going to last. She's just your turn. It's just your turn, fellas. She's not yours. I promise you that. You know, when I moved from a bigger city a couple of years ago for school to the smaller town that I live in right now, the girls I saw on Tinder back then, the 19, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds are now in relationships, right? They were in relationships last year. And guess who I just saw again this year? Same girls. Now, I don't stay on dating app for a whole year this whole time. I get on it, I stay there for a couple months, I get off of it. I go back on there 6 months later, 8 months later, stay there for a couple months, take care of my needs, get what I want to get off of it. That's how I do it. Some of you guys are just addicted to dating apps and just swiping. You know what swiping does? It's another form of giving them attention, free attention. These hot girls don't need to be on dating apps to find some dick, some good quality dick. Are you out of your mind? Do you see the type of dudes who are on dating apps? For the majority part, the type of dudes who are on dating apps are your average or below average. High quality men don't need dating apps. They just get free pussy thrown at them regardless. And they're too busy to be on their purpose. They're too busy to be on dating apps. They're way too busy with their purpose to be on dating apps. Which brings me to my next point, fellas, is if you're dating someone, if you have a girlfriend, you should be watching this. Why? Because if you have a girlfriend and you're dating someone long term, what are you giving up? You're giving up your purpose, fellas. You cannot tell me that you're in engineering school and you've dated this girl for the last 4 years and she stuck with you through thick and thin that you went through in your engineering school, and she didn't cheat on you and you guys didn't break off and you guys didn't go through ups and downs. You cannot tell me that with a straight face. You cannot tell me that you were in med school and she wasn't a med school student herself. She was just she was in another bullshit ass degree, and she stuck with you through thick and thin while you were going through med school. Fellas, when you try to build something valuable in life, you have to make sacrifices. And one of those sacrifices is taking time away from the girl you were dating. And women cannot stand this. Especially in today's women. Yeah, you can keep her in your roster for a little bit of time, for a little long, for a certain amount of time, but eventually she's gonna get impatient and tired of waiting on you. Eventually she's gonna say, you know what, this is not clicking. I'm falling out of love, or some other bullcrap like this. Do you know what that really means? She's telling you, hey, I found some other cock who's coming over more frequently than you are, and so I'm gonna divert my attention to his cock. I'm gonna start deep throating him instead of you now. That's what it means. I'm not bitter, fellas. See, I'm telling you guys all this with not trying to raise my... I'm not raising my pitch and my voice tone because... And you guys don't see me that angry or none of that. I'm not yelling at anybody. I'm saying it with a straight face. Why? Because I have accepted the red pill a long time ago. Was I bitter at some point? Sure. Have I been hurt? Plenty of times, yes. Am I bitter now? Absolutely not. Because I have accepted it. Acceptance is easier said than done. I promise you. That's probably the hardest stage, is to get through the red pill acceptance stage. Am I going to be hurt from now on? Maybe. But is that list of girls who hurt me in the past going to be nearly as long as the girls who will hurt me in the future? Absolutely not. That list is going to be almost non-existent. Why? Because I know not to keep my expectations high. This is how I don't get attached. This is how I know that this is how I know that I will never be able to date someone and take him seriously from the West. Why? Because I know that she can just drop me at the drop of a dime, just like that. Even if I'm a high value man, I make 7-figure income a year. Even if I'm that guy. Fellas, I'm telling you, there will always be something that she will not be happy about with you. She'll always find something. And if the right opportunity comes along, the right time comes along, because you cannot just keep your girl in a cage in your house. She's gonna go out. She's gonna meet people. She's gonna hang out with her friends, her family. She's not always going to be in front of your eyes. She's going to get out of your sight. And I'm telling you, the right opportunity and the right time and the right place and the right person meaning the right guy is going to say the right words to her. The opportunity is going to present itself to her and she's going to take it. Maybe you guys are going through maybe I'll be going through some rough patches with her and she'll take it. And even though I was that 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, 7-figure income, 6-inch or bigger dick type of dude with charisma and masculine frame and this, that, and the other, I had game and I had my shit together and everything. Even then, I'm not susceptible of cheating, of getting cheated on. So this is why I cannot take women seriously in the West, because again, as I said, it's the options, fellas. It fucks with our head. If you had that type of options in your life, it would have fucked with your head too. How do I know that? Let's say you were in engineering school and you just graduated from engineering school and you're looking for a job
and you get 7 different job offers. 7 different job offers as your entry-level engineering job position. Each one of them is more appealing than the last one. They all offer great benefits, great locations. All these jobs are in great places, great locations, great pay, and now you cannot make up your mind. Fucks you with your head, doesn't it? Because if you try to take this job offer, you're like, man, what about that one? What if I went through that one? Maybe that environment would have been a little bit better. Maybe those guys who I work with would have been a little bit better. Maybe those chairs that I sit on would be a little bit better. Maybe that building had a little bit better air conditioning system. Women go through the same exact screening process. And this is why I'm telling you, your relationship will not last. Again, back to that second important point. What are you giving up? As I was saying, if you're in med school, engineering school, it's the opportunity cost it's so much greater that you're paying than your relationship, that your little girlfriend that you're with. No amount of nothing great in life can be done without sacrifice. So if you're not willing to sacrifice this relationship, you're not gonna get something great done in your life. You will be $40,000, $50,000 employee at some job, living paycheck to paycheck, married with 2 kids and a white Labrador. Sorry, golden Labrador or whatever. Do they even have white labs? I don't know. Probably. But a golden retriever, white picket fence, and a wife who looks like a 7. That's what you're gonna have, fellas. Mediocrity, just settling. Bare minimum settling. That's all you're gonna have. That's not a great life. That's nothing great. You're gonna die, nobody's gonna remember your name. Regardless, the people won't remember our name anyways, right? All these famous rappers, artists, XXXTentacion or whatever, he died, passed away. Who talks about him anymore? Exactly, fellas. Nobody will remember you. The world moves on. So why not make the best out of your time while you are here? While you have the breaths to take. While your heart is pumping blood. Why not make the best of your time? And I don't even want to talk about all the bullshit that comes with dealing with the relationship, fellas. You know, one of my buddies been going back and forth with this one chick for a couple years now. And I can guarantee you she's cheating on his back, and he's way too naive to realize it. I went through her Instagram profile the other day. There's not a single picture of her with him, and his Instagram has at least 3. What does that tell you? All these pictures that she's posting is popping her ass, showing her titties. What does that tell you? This chick is an attention whore, and she's looking for other dick on the side. And you're 24, 25 years old, bro. You're not willing to move, relocate to a better job area, to where you can save up money and build a business or whatnot. You're not willing to do any of that because of this girl. And I've seen him firsthand where when he was going through some downtime, he would smoke to get his mind off of her. It puts you in a depressed mode, fellas, when things don't go well with your girl. I know it. I've been there. And you're telling me it's worth taking that type of stress for a person who cannot even appreciate your... Matter of fact, no, why would she appreciate? You are a nobody. Because you are spending time on this on a bitch who's not even worth your time, then taking that time and spending it on making something great happen, creating a legacy behind, leaving a legacy behind. You cannot tell me with a straight face that you're building a seven-figure business from ground up, from scratch, and it doesn't affect your relationship with your girl. She doesn't tell you, we don't spend enough time. You cannot tell me with a straight face. Women always want our energy and our time, and we need to save it for things that actually matter. You don't need women, fellas. You don't need to be dating anybody long term. You don't even need to get married anymore in today's world. Kids, you want kids? There's other options without getting married. I promise you. I'll talk about it in another video if you guys really want to know. Save your time, fellas. Use your youth. You know what? When you're young, you have high level of testosterone. You have high level of drive within yourself to go out and make things happen. When you get old, even when you're in your 30s, that drive starts going away. So right now is the time. Right now is to get up. Right now is the time to get up off of your couch, get off your fucking ass, and go make shit happen. You got one life, fellas. I talk about it all the time. You got one life. 5 seconds of time cannot buy you $5 billion. Sorry, $5 billion cannot buy you 5 seconds of time. That's how important and valuable time is. You cannot sit here with a straight face and tell me that you are not wasting time when you're dating, or when you're in a relationship. Because every relationship requires work. You cannot just hit her up on Saturday nights. Hey, I'm coming over. Bend over for me. Make sure the lingeries are there. Make sure the lingeries fit your titties nice tonight. I'm coming over. You cannot just tell her that. It requires work, unless she's a stripper or a hooker and you're just paying her straight up front. That's a different story. And where is that work coming from? It's coming from the time from your own life that you're taking away from you to give it to her. What is she doing? She's not helping you build your brand, build your business, build with you, build your empire. She's not there. She's just there to take. What are you doing for me? I'm not happy. We're not spending more time. We're not going out enough. What have you bought? I need this for my birthday. Buy me this, buy me that. Do this, do that. We're not spending enough time. You don't text me enough. We should FaceTime before we go to bed. Bitch, I'm tired. I ain't FaceTiming nobody. I don't even have time to talk to my own mother sometimes. That's how busy and tired I am at the end of the night. Because I'm tired working on my grind every day. So I get really tired by the time the night hits. I ain't got time to sweet talk to your bullshit. To sweet talk bullshit to your ass. What the fuck? So fellas, wake up. All right. I don't know how else to tell you guys, man. Follow me on Instagram, okay, at zeekpeak. Ask me questions on there. Engage with me on Instagram. I post there a lot more. I'm on Instagram a lot more than I am on YouTube comment section, so I'll see your messages quicker there. Fellas, I'm gonna leave this video with this last note, okay? She's not yours, it's just your turn, right? We all know this. So when you know that something is not yours, it's just your turn, why would you put all your eggs in that basket? Because you know that basket is going to be leaving with your eggs somewhere else. Right? Be smart with your time, fellas. I cannot stress this enough. And you guys just, I want to share a small other story real quick before I end this video. A lot of guys I talk to, because I socialize with a lot of people when I'm out and about in the gym or wherever I'm going. I talk to a lot of people, and eventually I ask them about their relationship life or sex life, or if they're dating someone or whatnot. A lot of guys, if not all, most guys that I come across that are dating someone, that tell me that they have a girl, I ask them why. And they say before they met this girl, they were lonely. Terrible reason to get into a relationship, fellas. That's another reason why most relationships don't last, because people get into the relationship with the wrong reason. For the wrong reason. They look for something that they should be looking for inside of them, within themselves. You need to be complete before you go into somebody else's life. And if that person, because only then can you walk away from it if things don't go your way. Just keep your expectations low. Know the nature of women. And keep it moving, fellas. They're just for recreational fun purposes. That's it. You don't cuff these chicks. They're literally garbage. Fellas, before you came into her life, she was taking loads on her face. She was gargling other dudes' cum. Let's say she's 21, she only had sex with 9 guys. 9 different guys. That's a very conservative number. But even 9 different guys' cock has been inside of your girl. How does that make you feel? And God knows how many times she took dick from these guys, right? They put it in her ass. She was crying, begging for mercy for him to not choke her anymore on his dick. Especially if she met a guy like me. She was tied up, getting her hair pulled back, getting her back blown out, fellas. Oh my God, she was taking dick in her pussy and her ass and in her mouth at the same time. You don't know that. You don't know what she did in her past, do you? You have to assume the worst. You have to. Otherwise, you cannot be armed. You're gonna let your guards down and you're gonna be fucked over. You have to assume the worst. Let her prove herself to you. And even then, you're gonna let your guards down. That's what she was before she met you. You think you're gonna be able to change her? You think you're gonna turn a hoe into a housewife? 95% of women are like that. So don't give me this crap that, oh, my girl is not like that. How do you know? Did you have a camera attached to her vagina 24/7? And you saw who she took in and who she didn't? Exactly. No, you didn't. So you don't know what she did in her past. And knowing how the society has turned our women into today, how liberal-minded and free-spirited and strong and independent, what that really means is I'm just a hoe. That's what it really means. Seeing how society have encouraged women to go out and do things like that, you cannot expect the best out of them. You have to expect the worst. No news, no amount of freaky stuff that she tells you that she did in her past should surprise you. You'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Because you're already expecting her. You're already expecting it. You're already expecting her to be trash. All right? That's how I don't get attached. That's how I know women ain't shit. That's why I keep myself away from long-term relationships and commitment. And when you are done with her, she's going to go right back to the streets because that's where she belongs. And she's going to start taking dick right and left right after you break up with her. You know how girls go through this, oh, after breakup hoe phase? That's what it really means. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video to your friends. Until next time, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and above all, stay classy.